Do an audio test, see if it's going to repeat us again.
Testing, testing. All right, got that fishing noob in. Can you hear me? Hopefully you can hear me and I'm not repeating myself. I don't know exactly what happened with that.
You're good.
Okay. All right, I swear, guys, we are going to get this down, and next time it's going to be that, first try. Right now we're doing the Lego Batman first try. I don't know if you guys watched that, where he throws like 20 batarangs, and when he finally hits it, first try. So that's what I'll say right now. First try. So I wanted to start tonight off, and I'll say the big idea that we had for this video is her idea. So we're going to actually play a little game and do name that lure, and I'm going to have her guessing the names of some of the lures. Now we know she's been fishing with me for a little while, and there are some that she has down and some that I'm sure she doesn't have down. Did you send a message to Hunter and Emma too?
I will.
Looks like Jeremy's in there. Yeah, guys, hit the like button if you don't mind. That definitely does help out. So yeah, but we're going to play Guess That Lure, and I'm going to kind of go over a few things. And I am mostly using small bait makers lures. So that's a big thing that I'm really going to focus on this year. I do not want to go forward with buying lures from box stores. I have a few friends that make lures now. I'm on pro staff with Dadish Tackle. I am working with the 12 Oaks Custom Lures, and then I have Hunter over at Honey's Hideout, who are all friends that make lures. And I don't want to continue buying lures from the box store. So the only things I'll buy from a box store is what my friends don't make. And it looks like I'm getting to the point where my friends make a little bit of everything we need. So that's my plan today, using mostly homemade lures, friends made lures.
I have some trivia questions for you guys too.
Yes, she pulled up some trivia questions. And she'll get to those. I don't know exactly how we'll do it, but I know I wanted to start off by just kind of talking about what we've done over the last few weeks. Thank you very much for those that are joining. Jeremy, I really appreciate you hopping in for sure. And, we've got Travis, that fishing noob. We've got Dadish Tackle. We've got Josh Lanham. We've got Trevor Wagner. I see Southeast Georgia Kayak Bass Fishing's on. Emma and Hunter are both on. You guys are awesome.
Double hours.
You guys are awesome, and I really, really appreciate that. Seriously. Oh, look, Mama Gone Fishing. It's Teresa.
Yeah.
All right. So excited about tonight. I figured we would start off and kind of talk about what the last few weeks have been. Of course, New Year's. Happy New Year's to all you guys. I am so sorry to start it off like that, Trevor. I said, I swear I'm not going to mess this up this time. And then I messed it up and had to start over.
It was repeating the audio back to us. I don't know if you could hear it. But
yeah, if you guys could hear our audio coming through twice, it was coming through to you guys, hopefully. But then it was bouncing back at us for some reason. I don't know what I did wrong. I did it the same way I did the last live stream and my live stream on the water. So weirdly, that's what happened. Yeah, so want to talk about the last couple weeks. Happy New Year's. Of course, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's. We've had a good time. We haven't really got to fish. I did get on the water with Hunter over at Honey's Hideout for a few hours, and it was chocolate milk. We had a bunch of rain leading up to that day. We got on the water, it was like 50 degrees. Pretty nice weather, and the water was just straight chocolate milk. Could not buy a bite that day. Threw everything I had with me. I think he threw everything he had with him. We worked pretty hard that day, and nothing. And I say we worked hard. We started out with a 2-mile run. Him in his pedal drive and me in my paddle kayak. So yeah, we started out with a pretty good run. I was doing everything I could to keep him from just having to wait on me the whole time. So it was a rough start to the day, but we still had fun. Good time on the water. Then, like I said, we had Christmas. and that led into New Year, and I actually got my Christmas present a few days later. I'm going to tell you guys that I got a Christmas present, and it's a kayak along with a trailer. Kayla got a kayak
got a
also.
Christmas present too.
Yeah, she got a kayak also. That was kind of unplanned, but it just worked out that we were able to get 2 pedal drive kayaks. But I'm not going to tell you what they are until I do a grand reveal here in a couple weeks. So
A couple weeks.
I'm waiting until I get them on the water. So really excited to get these new kayaks on the water. But yeah, so that's what we've got looking forward to over the next few weeks is, you know, I'll drop some hints along in there and, you know, put some teasers out there and try to get everyone a little excited about it. But I am super excited about it. It's I'm kind of frustrated about it today, as yesterday I had to go out and tarp both the kayaks up to prepare for the winter storms that hit. I don't know if all of you guys, I know some of you guys are seeing winter storms, some of you guys are not, but it's been snowing quite a bit here today. Go ahead.
Drop how much snow you got in the comments.
Yeah. So the last I looked, we had 6 inches of snow, and we had 6 inches of snow, and then I couldn't tell you how much sleet on top of that has came, along with some freezing rain. So, yeah, really not looking forward to that. Josh, you hush. I'm not revealing what they are yet. I know you know, being in the Freedom Squad chat.
Which one? I haven't. It was already decided.
I'll say the 12-foot is mine. The 10-foot is hers. That was. I wonder why. That was my goal from the beginning. When I started looking at pedal drive kayaks, I really wanted a 12-foot kayak. I want something that's going to be sturdy enough for me to stand in. And yeah, what winter storms? Sturdy enough for me to stand in and be able to fish out of. And that's my goal, was getting something that I could do that with. And you know, it's definitely going to be the same for her. She'll be able to stand in hers as well. So that's really exciting. It'll be a game changer for us on the water.
I really didn't think it would be that big of a deal. And then we got out there and we started getting around the other kayakers in the pedal drives. Because to me, I don't know, like I said, when we first started talking about kayak fishing, I was like, what's the big deal? And then we got out there and like I could watch Paul in his kayak and Hunter and him in theirs. I think those were the first ones we were around. And I'm out here spinning around in my kayak trying to stay straight, and they're just going wherever they want to.
Yeah, so. Now Paul's in a kayak with a motor, yeah. Which Jeremy is also. And I had an experience on the water with him earlier this year, and it was a good time. One of the coolest things, and I loved, it was one of my favorite things about the video I made with him, was getting the video of him taking off past me and me being like, yeah, I don't think I can keep up with that. You know, his kayak goes like 7 miles an hour or something crazy. That is nuts in a plastic boat. So when you see wake being pushed in a kayak, it's pretty awesome. But yeah, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to start out throwing a couple lures up here and kind of letting her get a feel for it. If you guys have any questions along the way, we've got the comments right here where we can check them out.
Your dad's here.
Dad, I see that. Thank you very much for joining. So yeah, we've got the comments right here. If you guys want to throw out any comments, questions, feel free. And I think we're going to have some fun.
I will say that I said when we first went out that first time that I was going to make a channel where I called everything wrong absolutely on purpose because I can't keep it straight.
And I told her that would actually probably do really well. We all know the people that love controversy, so it would be full of drama. You know, she could, you know, catch a catfish and throw it back and be like, after, you know, she showed it on the camera, say, look at this bluegill, throw it back in the water, and you know that would get people all fired up. You know, so I told her that would do well. But I'm going to start out with this right here. Do you know what this is?
I mean, it's just like a jig, right?
It's a jig. Look at the shape of the jig. So what do you think it's made for?
I didn't know there was different.
There are. Okay. There are different jigs for different things.
That would be a... Yeah.
So this
I
jig
don't know.
is made by Dadish Tackle. Freshwater squid. You got it, Paul. You got it. It's definitely a drop shot. So this is a swim jig. And so it's a jig made for swimming, and you can fish it as a moving bait, not just like a lot of jigs where you're throwing them out and dragging them on the bottom. Or
I've never fished a jig.
Yeah, so I'm throwing out some stuff that she's not had experience with. You guys know, if you've watched me very long, I'm really learning these things. I'm learning on jigs. That's been one of my big focuses lately.
And it's okay if you guys laugh at me too, because I was the one that had this idea because I thought it'd just be funny and help people that don't know too. We can learn together.
All right, so we got another one here. These are both from Dadfish Tackle.
They're the same thing.
She says this is the same thing. Tell me, guys, does this look the same? Look at that.
Well, where's the other
Look
one?
at the shape of the head. What is it? What shape is that head? Can you tell me that? What is it shaped like?
An oval.
What would you throw that's like an oval?
I have no idea.
They throw it in sporting events.
Football.
So this is a football head
There you
jig.
go. I got it.
So these jigs are made for throwing out to the bottom, and you kind of bounce them on the bottom and work them to you. Normally you'll have like a crawl style trailer on them, something like that has some appendages that move in the water.
Great for dragging. That's right, Travis. I had it all along. I was just
great for dragging.
playing.
And that is something, again,
use those during
a
the
jig
Super
is
Bowl.
something I am working. I use those during the Super Bowl, which we literally don't watch sports. So I'm surprised when I said it was a sporting event thing. She got it. So, all right, next.
Oh, God.
Now, this is something that, oh, man, I have such a struggle throwing. I am a power fisherman. You guys should know what this is. It has the name of a person, I'll say that.
The name of the person.
She is like, what is wrong with you?
So I'm guessing it's another type of jig head.
It is.
A person. Is it the...
And it's not a person you would know.
Okay.
It's kind of a random name.
The Ig? Oh.
Do you...
Carolina ring. I'm reading comments. Shut up.
Oh.
He thought I got it. No.
No, I was like, where in the world are you getting these names from?
Trying to figure it out. I don't know. He just left me.
All right, guys, go ahead and help her out.
Yeah, they did.
Did they say it?
A name from the 50s.
A name from the 50s. Yeah, that's. Oh, there we go. EWG Nedhead.
That's why I was
So
trying to figure out
it's
how to say it.
it's.
Like Flanders.
Oh, you said oog. So extra wide gap. EWG means extra wide gap. So yeah, so a Nedhead, and that one is made by Dadfish Tackle as well.
I never watched this.
It is the Uncle Nedly. Yeah, I know. I thought about saying that too. The Simpsons neighbor. I thought about saying that one, but I was like, no, she ain't gonna have a clue who that is.
I'm horrible at that. Actors, all that stuff, I don't know.
All right, so this next one
Oh, that one's...
is, yeah, it's a simple one. I'm not gonna just give you all the hard ones.
Okay.
So this next one is
Deadly Nedly. I can remember that.
the Deadly Nedly. Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, okay, yeah. All right, so what is this?
It's a crankbait.
What kind of crankbait is it? Sorry, trying to...
Square bill.
Yes, good job. Square bill crankbait. So this one is painted up by Hunter over at Honey Side Out.
It's pretty. I'm really
Check out
excited to
his
try.
Facebook page. I would tell you to check out his TikTok, but we all know that's supposed to go away, so we'll see about that.
Yes. I usually pick out my lures because they look cool. So
Yes.
I had told somebody that I got to learn to, I think I was just talking to Em about that. I got to decide to learn when to actually use the right things this year.
All right,
I'm
so
gonna fish some tournaments.
you can't tell me most of you guys don't know who John over at Creek Fishing Adventures is. I mean, his channel is one of my favorites to watch. I would say it's probably my number 2 behind Greg Blanchard. Sorry, let's say number 3 behind that fishing noob.
You're gonna get in trouble. You got so
number 2 behind Greg Blanchard. I love Greg Blanchard's channel. Obviously, you kayak fishermen, you have to know it. But yeah, John over at Creek Fishing Adventures, his channel is amazing. And his favorite thing to throw, or for years, I know he's gotten to where he throws a lot of spinner baits more than anything else now. But one of his favorite lures is a bubblegum lemon swirl yum dinger. And so that's pink and bright yellow. Bright pink and bright yellow. And I mean, if you've watched his channel much, he catches a bunch of fish on it, and he's caught muskie on it. So it's definitely one that, yeah, see, I really want to meet John. I should actually meet him. I'm going to the East Tennessee Fishing Show where my buddy Dadish Tackle is going to be set up there. And John is supposed to be there as well. I actually messaged him on Facebook. John is so cool. He is one of the, I mean, we all know he's got like 150,000 subscribers, and he's messaged me back every time I've messaged him. He's such a cool guy. Really looking forward to meeting him.
I'm not to fangirl.
I'm not going to fan.
Don't fangirl.
Yeah. But yeah, so looking forward to actually meeting him in person. That'll be a good time. And he's getting into BFS fishing. You guys know me. BFS is my favorite thing, and I'll get on that later. But BFS is my favorite way to fish, and John's getting into BFS fishing, so that's what I've been messaging him about lately. Is he's gotten a couple new BFS setups. So, all right, next one. Again, what is it?
It's a minnow.
It's a crankbait.
Oh.
But this one is a different kind. What does it not have on it?
It doesn't have the bill, so it'd be a billless crankbait.
That was really good. It's a lipless crankbait. So it has no lip on it. It's a lipless crankbait. This one again is painted up by
But that one's really skinny.
Hunter over at Honey Side Out. Yeah, lipless crankbaits are a lot skinnier. Something I'm terrible at fishing. I wish I would have had one with me. My last time out on New Lake, it's a very, very clear lake. Yeah, it's great colors. It's a very clear lake, and I was marking fish anywhere from probably 7 to 16 feet. I was marking fish, and I mean, definitely some of them looked like bass suspended, and I had nothing to really drop down to suspended fish. Yeah, they don't work there at all. So I had nothing really to drop down. Yeah, Paul is 100% honest in everything he says. But yeah, so I had nothing to really drop down, and that's something that I definitely would have liked to have had. I dug through my tackle box, and for some reason, I did not have it. All right, next, I'm going to put some up here by 12 Oaks Custom. This right here is my favorite color. It's that chartreuse with a black back.
It's really like he has an obsession with this color.
Yeah, I mean, he's painting this. This is a
every type of lure he has in this color.
He's painting topwater baits for me in this color. I can't help it. Love that color.
He's
yeah,
convinced.
Great. Josh says great for ripping through the grass on lipless crankbaits. That's something, again, I got to work on some more. I've not done very well with them. He said, never seen that one before. So what is this one?
Well, I want to say something, but I think it's wrong because it has a tail on it. But I mean, because that is all the way down, so it'd be a wake bait, right?
Yep. This is a wake bait.
Oh, look at me.
So this one's got a feathered end on it.
Okay.
That chartreuse, yes. I am all about chartreuse with a black back. All right. Here's one. This one's one that you haven't really seen. Well, actually, you haven't seen me throw it at all. Sorry, guys. Treble hooks. Sometimes they hang up. All right. What do you think this is? What's it shaped like?
It's like a little locust.
Yeah, so it's shaped like a cicada, but it's not a crankbait. What do you think? What do you think of? Yeah, it's definitely a topwater.
trying to come up with a name. I can't think of anything.
All right, what is... I don't really know how to say this one to try to make you guess it. I was going to say, what does a locust do on top of the water?
Is it a buzz? No, that would be right.
It's a bug.
No, is it?
What were you going to say? Oh, buzz?
Yeah.
No. So this is called a jitterbug.
Jitterbug.
Yeah, Jeremy.
Just said the old dance. No, just kidding.
Yeah, jitterbug. I know at least one person in the comments used to like to throw jitterbugs. All right, let's go. Let's go with this one. Let's go with this.
Too many lures.
Yeah, I got a lot to choose from. This one is not. This is one of my few that I don't have a 12 Oaks custom in.
I don't know this one at all.
So, can you take a guess, like where in the water column? Yeah, Dad said he knew that one, the jitterbug.
I mean, it's like the body of a crankbait, but
it's got a cup there at the front of it.
Which is gonna like make it stay more towards the surface, right?
Yep.
I have no idea.
So
I've never seen
you
this
give
one
it
before.
a popping action.
So it's like a jerkbait. Topwater jerkbait?
I mean, look, popcorn. Yeah.
Popcorn?
It's a popper. This is a popper. Oh. So not something I've really thrown hardly at all.
I've never heard of that.
I'll definitely have to pick up some poppers from 12 Oaks and put them to work too. Let's see. I might as well, I mean, since I'm talking my colors, I might as well
pull it out.
Go to the one that is my color.
While he's pulling that out, I'm going to ask you guys a question. Let me see. All right. What year did the modern bass boat enter the fishing world? I know we're mainly kayak fishers, but still. What year did the modern bass boat enter the fishing world? Drop your comment. Let me see if anyone gets it right. No Googling. Yeah, stay on here.
Yeah. We'll know if you did it. We're watching you.
I don't think he's ever fished that one.
What is it?
What kind of popping sound does that make?
I haven't fished that one. That's a, I don't remember exactly what the model is, but that's a 6 cents popper. So Trevor actually just did a video. I don't know if you've done them in the past, but it's the first one that I've seen of your videos. And he showed off the Pop Max, is that it? Pop Max from Mega Bass. And it's a popper, and it's one of his favorite topwater lures.
It's before the 70s.
Yeah, Pop Max. Okay, that's what I thought it was. Yeah, so
nope.
A popper is something I've got to learn.
It was actually in 1948.
1948.
Do you know what brand it was? It was not a Ranger. Now, I didn't fact check these, so this is from Google, so I could be wrong, but this is what I found.
Johnson.
Nope, it was Skeeter.
Skeeter, okay.
1948.
Come on, Hunter, why didn't you get that? You named your dog after it.
That's right. Well, when he cut his hair, he forgot all the things, too.
All right, next, my favorite color again. Like I said, everything he paints for me, I get painted in this color. But what is that one? I know you already know.
That is a Whopper Popper, a flat-sided Whopper Popper.
So these are unique because they're the flat-sided ones. These do not spin. I absolutely love these Whopper Poppers. When I first started ordering lures from 12 Oaks, I picked up only crankbaits because crankbait's my favorite thing to fish now. And I picked up only crankbaits. He sent me one of these and said, you need to try the flat-sided Whopper Popper. So
it's so amazing.
I've caught a lot of fish on Whopper Poppers. Before this year, my PB was caught on a Whopper Popper. Caught a 19-inch. Probably would have been 3.5 to 4 pounds. Of course, my scale was messed up, so I couldn't say exactly what that was. Yeah, it weighed ounces according to my scale, but it was a 19-inch, so I know it didn't. Yeah, so leading up to this year, that was what leading up to 2024, my PB was on a Whopper Popper. So I'd been throwing these a while. We all know when you're throwing a Whopper Popper, you end up getting line twists. Yeah, Choppo. Choppo's a great one too. But Choppo, Whopper Popper, you get a lot of line twists. With this right here, you do not get line twists. That flat side, what it does is it sits on one side in the water. So it kind of sits like this. It'll sit just a slight cant in the water. And it plops really good. It's got a good sound. If you look,
it makes the best bubble sound. It makes me happy.
There's a little hole right there, so it leaves a good bubble trail. I know Choppos leave a good bubble trail also. These leave a good bubble trail. They sound great on the water, and fish hit them hard. We've caught some really good ones on them. And Kayla's one of her favorite baits is a Whopper Popper. We've had times that we've went out and fished for hours. Yeah, so I was running a swivel for a while. I don't have to run one with these, and that's what's really nice. So sometimes I'll throw them on my same rod that I'm throwing crankbaits on, and I normally do run a crankbait snap. I like to have a crankbait snap on because I do switch crankbaits fairly frequently. Yeah, so I normally run a crankbait snap, and I can run my regular snap, or I can direct line tie those without getting any line twists at all. So next, I'll say this one has kind of been my nemesis.
I know it's a frog, but I don't know what type of frog, because I know there's different types of frogs.
So feel it, and what do you think it feels like?
A squishy frog.
Yeah, so it's soft. So it's a
rubber frog.
A hollow body frog. Now this one it's a popping frog. This is, I don't even remember which model it is.
Is that because it's got the little open mouth thingy?
But this is a 6 cents frog. Again, not one that any of my buddies make. As soon as my buddies start making a frog, I'll buy from them too. I actually do.
There you go, Hunter. There's your next Hunter fixation.
And I'm buying a frog. So I actually have, I don't even remember what kind of affiliate with Toad Thumper. Any of you guys throw Toad Thumper frogs? Man, that's a tongue twister for me. Toad Thumper frogs. Vega. That's it. Thank you. So I've thought about checking them out because I do get a decent discount on them. Just because, again, a frog is not something I have familiarity with, and I'm really learning with them. So I would like to get one that people have pretty good confidence in. I kind of like the looks of the 6 Cents Hush frog. It's intriguing. I throw, as much as I'm a power fisherman, I'm kind of a finesse power fisherman. So I throw a lot of smaller stuff. Next, this one's still got grass in it.
It's dirty.
This is from, I guess, the other day, because I threw this one for a while. What is this?
It's jerkbait.
It's a jerkbait. This is, again, from 12 Oaks Custom. This is, I haven't seen Dad Life fishing in this one yet, but he's normally on my lives. But this is the green shiner pattern that he helped design.
Oh, yeah.
Booyah Pad Crasher. Yeah, I've thrown that one as well. I can't make any. The Vision.
I don't know what that means.
Oh yeah, Vision 110. So, yeah, I can't say I have a lot of familiarity with any frogs. So, that's something that next season I'm gonna work on a lot more.
Grass catcher.
I did. Yeah, they can be. I did catch 2 fish on a frog this year, and it was a toad. I caught 2 fish on a toad. It was a Pad Crasher, Pad Daddy. Yeah, Pad Daddy from Buzzbaits. That one's a great hard-bodied frog, toad style bait, and I really liked it. Okay, next. This is another one. I don't have a friend that makes them yet, although I kind of do. I know Dadfish is actually in the process of making these. But what is this?
Oh, this is bladed jig.
Bladed jig. Okay. And so what's another name for the bladed jigs? Chatterbait. Okay. So Chatterbait is Z-Man specific. This is a Z-Man one. Does anybody know which one this is? A little bit smaller blade. Anybody know which one it is? This is my favorite Chatterbait. But I'm excited to get the ones that Jeremy is making and put them to work. Chatterbait was really awesome for me in the spring last year. I threw an orange and black one a lot. Caught a lot of fish on them, including, nope, not the Evo or the Ego. I don't, there may be an Ego, I don't know. Yeah, not the Evo, yeah, Mini Max, Travis. I know you're throwing that same one. I have thrown all the Chatterbaits. I say that, I haven't thrown the Evo Tungsten yet. But I've thrown all the Chatterbaits from Z-Man, and I've thrown what's the one Berkeley makes? The Slobber Knocker. Strike King has the Thunder Cricket, and I'll say this right here. Y'all sound like her people. She's from Ohio. Yes, this is the Mini Max. It is my favorite Chatterbait. Jeremy says same for him. I catch more fish on that than any others. My buddy James over in Missouri, he swears by the Mini Max also. Went with him, and he was tearing them up on a Mini Max. I can't tell you how many fish he caught that day that I was fishing with him, but I know it was a lot. All right, looking for...
Do you know what the world's record weight was for the largest largemouth bass? Does anybody know?
Well, I guarantee there's going to be some that know this one.
I'll give you a hint. It's a little above our PBs. Just a little.
A little, yeah. For those of you that don't know, my PB is 4.99 pounds. I should have made that one go up to 5 pounds. I don't know what I did. I should have just tried measuring again. And her PB is 5.35 pounds. Right. So she's got me beat.
Y'all are close. I'm gonna... I'm getting nervous right now.
One of them I thought I had with me is actually on my rod right now. 22 plus.
26, 22, 22. Wasn't it Dottie?
That I can't remember. I've heard of Dottie, but I can't remember what Dottie was. I know that there have actually been some that were caught that were actually contested and ended up not counting. And see, that's what I was thinking, Paul. But I think the one in Japan is the one that actually ended up not counting as an official.
Yeah, it's from the U.S.
Yeah, I think
It's from Georgia.
Georgia. Okay. Yeah, I think the one in Japan is 26 pounds, Paul, if I remember right. And there ended up being some controversy on that, and it ended up being contested and no longer officially counts. It's kind of one of those, there's an asterisk by it in the record book.
It is from Georgia. It's 22 pounds and 4 ounces. It's only 4 times.
Yeah, 4 times the size.
I couldn't even imagine catching that.
I would love to see, I've not seen a bass over 5 pounds, well, other than, hers. Actually, Paul caught a 6-pounder when I was with him. But I've not seen a bass over 6 pounds, that is.
Now, I mean, it's kind of weird, though, because then it says other largemouth bass that have been caught, and it listed 25-pound one, so I don't know if something didn't actually get recorded right.
Yeah, so there was definitely some of these that,
I guess it's just
probably,
the largest recorded
an issue with.
Yeah.
So I have a lot bigger one of these that I plan to have in here, but it's actually on one of my rods right now because I threw it the other day. But what is this?
It's a glide bait.
A glide bait. Good job.
Are there different types of glide baits?
This is a jointed glide bait. Good job. I have a lot bigger one tied on right now, again from 12 Oaks Custom. And I know Travis, which he said he had to step away, so he's probably not going to be able to say anything right now. But Travis just caught several on his from 12 Oaks Custom also. I finally got a buddy to try them out also.
There's an 11-pounder at Bluegrass.
Man, I'm hoping to hook into it. I know there are giants out there. I mean, I've seen giants that people have caught. I mean, even on Facebook. I would love to catch one. I mean, to catch a double-digit bass would just be unreal to me.
Didn't say which pit. There's like 15 of them. Jeez.
He said where we like to fish.
Sorry.
All right, next.
It's a flat-sided crankbait.
Flat-sided crankbait. Good job. Good job. I knew she would know this one.
Because I did my research.
She's been doing her research.
Still waiting on a largemouth to measure. Bank Fishing Adventure said that. You can come fish with us.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
We got extra kayaks now.
Yeah, we do. Hey, we can make you kayak fishing adventures.
Yeah.
Come on up here, or come on down here, Stacy. I would love to. I really want to fish with you sometime. I really enjoy your channel. For those of you that don't know, Bank Fishing Adventures, he catches a little bit of everything. He goes out and, I mean, obviously exactly what his channel is called. It's Bank Fishing. He's here in Indiana as well.
Hi, Bill.
And, yeah, hi, Bill. Nice to meet you. Thank you for joining tonight. Yeah, he does a little bit of all kinds of fishing. It's a lot of river fishing, and he does some catfishing. I think my dad would really enjoy his channel. He fishes, you know, some of the same ways that my dad likes to fish. And yeah, he goes out and catches a little bit of everything too. He's got some 12 Oaks custom lures also. And puts out some good crappie fishing videos also, which, man, I absolutely love crappie fishing. And I really am going to get back to that more this year. I think me and Paul may do some crappie fishing. And then if you don't follow Puddle Walkers Outdoors, he has a great channel, and I'm going to go do some crappie fishing on the stream with him as well. So this is another crankbait, and I'm just throwing this one up there again.
He just wants to show off his
you guys that follow me, you know why I'm throwing this one up there, because this is what I throw more than anything else in my tackle box. Yeah, Dad said he follows them already. I don't
like the smaller crankbaits.
So this is a BFS crankbait. It's a lot smaller. This one is it's a Mega Bass Griffin blank. I really love this. I like the action on it. It's got a fairly tight wobble, and for as small as it is, it dives pretty good. It goes to, you can get it to dive down below 4 feet. Most of the time it's somewhere in that 2 to 4 range, but bring it down and bump it off the bottom, or bump it off of rocks.
I was thinking,
this one catches fish, and it's caught some good ones. If you guys watch, I think it was the 4th Bluegrass tournament, I caught a 4-pounder on this close to the end of the day, 19.5 inches. Great fish. And I've caught, again, I probably throw this more than anything else, but I've caught more fish on this lure than any other lure in my tackle box over the last year, including when we went to the Kayak Adventure Series in Missouri. I was throwing this style lure. I did not have these yet. I feel like had I had this chartreuse with blackback, I probably would have even done better. But I caught so many fish on the chartreuse and blackback on the BFS crankbait that my buddy actually ended up switching to one of the same lures and ended up catching a really nice smallmouth on it.
I think
and that's all I caught was smallmouth.
my biggest issue with the smaller ones at this moment is my, oh gosh, the thingy, the bait caster reel or whatever that I'm using. The lighter ones, those smaller ones, I can't throw as far just yet. So I usually pick the bigger ones so I can get it farther, get it where I want to.
All right. So this caught me my PB earlier this year. Not this exact one. The exact one I have is sitting at the bottom of at the bottom of Lake Monroe. I caught my PB, bent it up really bad. Tried to bend it back, got it fixed, and then continued casting it. And one time I just cast it and it flew a mile and went into the lake. And it was the only buzzbait I had with me. Sorry, I just said what it was. Buzzbait.
Way to ruin
this
that
is a
way.
Buzzbait. I know she would have known this one also. I got her throwing these a little bit.
Except I get the buzzbait and the chatterbait.
In November, yeah, she does sometimes. Sometimes she'll call it a buzzbait or a chatterbait when it's a buzzbait, or a buzzbait when it's a chatterbait. Let's see. Here's another one. This is one that I know a lot of you guys throw a lot. I rarely catch fish on them. The fish I have caught on them have been good, but I rarely catch fish on them. This one's got a trailer on it, of course, but
it just...
What is it?
It looks like another buzzbait.
So what do those blades do on it? What are they doing?
Spinnerbait. Spinnerbait.
Yep, there you go. Spinnerbait.
Hi, Granville.
Yeah, nice to see you on here, Granville. All right, I'll go ahead and let her ask a couple more questions, and then I'll go into some soft plastics.
Oh gosh.
I'm not going to go through a lot of soft plastics, but I'm going to go through a couple of them that I have out right now.
This is my first year using buzzbait, which obviously it's my first year using anything besides like a
So
crappie
Trevor,
jig.
what is your PB?
Okay. So let me think. I'm trying to figure out which one to ask. This is not kayak, but what is the first bass fishing? What year was the first bass fishing tournament in?
The first bass fishing tournament?
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Yeah, that's a giant, man. Congratulations.
The first bass boat was in 1948.
Yeah.
If that helps a little bit.
I mean, 1960. Probably before that. Did they make a bass boat because of they wanted to get them into tournaments? Is that why they made bass boats?
The first bass fishing tournament was in 1967.
Okay. Yeah, I almost said 70s right at first, but yeah, I could see that.
I think the reward was like $1,000, which was pretty major back then. So.
Yeah, no joke. I mean,
I'd
be okay with 1954. Yeah, you didn't even give them time
I'm
to
sorry.
answer.
I'm sorry.
I'd be okay with $1,000 payout right now. I guess I got to win a tournament first before I can talk about what the payout is. All right, go ahead and ask another one.
Okay, so switching to the kayak fishing, does anybody know?
And again, if you guys have questions, jump in and ask them. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, babe.
When's the first kayak bass fishing tournament?
You should see her on the water with me. She is
Mean.
mouthy. When was the first kayak bass fishing
I gotta
tournament?
keep him in line. He's really hard to keep in line. I'll give you time to answer this guy. Yes. When was the first kayak fishing bass tournament? Kayak bass fishing tournament.
Let's say 2004. And
I actually found this shocking.
Chad Hoover put it on. Just guessing. Just throwing it out there. I got a feeling it's quite a bit before 2018. Some of these guys have been fishing out of a kayak for a long time. Now,
You should
I guess
be grateful.
I guess when you
giving
say
you engagement, Hunter. I'm watching your lives and giving you engagement.
yeah, I guess when you say bass fishing, I know they've kayak fished for a long time, but maybe they had some other tournaments before that. But I'm just throwing it out there, guessing 2004. But Dave, I appreciate you jumping in. For any of you Indiana guys, check out Outdoors in Indiana on Facebook. It is an awesome Facebook page that, I mean, it's exactly what it is, Outdoors in Indiana. Dave posts a lot of really cool stuff. He'll post the deer hunting stats in there.
Sorry.
You bully me the whole time. But yeah, Dave will post the deer hunting stats in there and everything. I really enjoy that page. It's one of my frequents when I'm on Facebook, so check it out.
It was held in 2016.
2016, okay.
Although they did have an
I
unofficial
expected.
one in 2015. And it was the Kentucky, or not Kentucky, I always want to say Kentucky, the kayak bass fishing that
fishing.
put it on.
Yep. So you guys that
not
follow
that
it,
old.
Chad Hoover is the one that created
Yeah.
kayak bass fishing. Chad puts out some great stuff. I know that there's always some controversy in anything.
I
but
feel like it would have been sooner too, and I don't know. Like I said, I got these off Google, guys. So
Chad
I have
put together
questions.
some awesome stuff. I don't think that people would be doing anything they're doing in kayak fishing without everything that he's done. All right, so I'm going to give you one again. This is soft plastics. What is this?
I know what that is, but I can't think of what it's called. Because Wendell Fishing uses them a lot, doesn't he?
I'm not sure.
I think he uses those a lot. Oh man, I don't know. It's a
She's looking to see if you guys are giving her some hints.
Emma, text me.
What's the end of it shaped like?
That's, I don't know. Paddle. Looks like a paddle.
Yeah, it
Looks
looks
like
like
a
a paddle. So what would it? Where's the paddle at on this?
The end.
The what?
The back.
What's the back of a fish?
Tail.
Yeah. Thanks, Paul. So it's a paddle.
I didn't read that
It's
one.
a paddle
I said that
tail.
one.
It's a paddle tail. And pick up some Dadfish tackle.
you just
They
sniff it?
even smell good. Look,
No, that's
as far as so I got some beard oil, and she swears that my beard oil smelled like
It smells like fishing
smelled
lure.
like soft plastic
I was
lures.
like,
These actually smell good.
that took it.
Who
I
knows?
like
Maybe
fishing. Okay, that took it a little too
Jeremy,
far.
maybe
I don't
I've
want to
been
kiss
rubbing.
him and
Maybe
smell.
I've been rubbing your worm oil in my beard.
It's a family-friendly show. Oh man.
Yeah, Dadfish tackle, the best smelling lures. As weird as that sounds, they're the best smelling lures. All right, so Travis said, what happens when it snows that much over there? Does everything shut down? So, yes and no.
This time it does.
So right now, like the
Except
kids,
he's still gonna go to work tomorrow.
the kids were supposed to go to work tomorrow, and or the kids were supposed to go to work. I wish I could send them to work for me. The kids were supposed to go to school tomorrow, and they have actually canceled school already. Yeah, family-friendly show. So they've canceled school already. The kids are not going back.
Pure panic. Yes, our Walmarts are empty. Absolutely empty. But this is the worst snow we've had in a long time.
Well, I mean, we all know that if you're going to have any issues where the snow's going to snow you in, everyone has to make French toast.
Exactly.
Because the three things you can't buy are bread, milk, and eggs.
Water was gone this time too.
So French toast. Oh, well, and then you got to have water because, you can't just go out and melt the snow and drink it. You may die if you don't have water and French toast.
Yeah.
I mean, you may not have power to make French toast, but you've got all the stuff to make it. So yeah, sadly, it always happens that on our grocery week, that's when we have a storm hit like this. So I knew he was gonna do it. I knew that fishing noob would get on there and make a comment about the best smelling lures. I had to say that because I knew it would get him to pick his phone back up.
I don't know. It really did. Like I was like, you smell like fishing lures.
Yeah, so not everything shuts completely down, but right now it's to the point where there's a good
You just stick it outside so it doesn't go bad.
There's a good chance of things shutting down right now.
Everything was pretty
now
much
the
closed
only
today.
thing that I'll say that I doubt will shut down is Toyota. I work
yeah.
out at Toyota, and they rarely shut down. Now we've seen a few times they've shut down over the last couple years,
French toast
but
is
it's
my kid's
normally
favorite
when
breakfast.
a supplier shuts them down. I doubt Toyota's going to shut down for this snow. So tomorrow morning, I'm going to be figuring out how I'm getting all this snow and ice off of my truck and driving into work.
Yeah. I'm going to enjoy another snow day.
And then, yeah, I see French toast is great. I love French toast. We make French toast. I
All
make
the
pancakes
time.
more than anything, but we make French toast. Our staples for breakfast are pancakes, French toast, waffles, and pretty much breakfast sandwiches, whether that be biscuit or bagels, or no, muffins, English muffins. One of our daughters loves English muffins. She likes them too. So that's our staples.
It's possible. Toyota's huge, so it's like its own little town.
Yeah, I can't
stop
say that name. Sounds familiar. Forgot shad in the live well, midsummer.
That's disgusting.
Yeah. I've been there with forgetting something in my truck that died in there and didn't have to drive it for a little bit, and then you go back to it. Yeah, that's terrible. So I can imagine.
We had chocolate gravy for breakfast today. Has anybody heard of that?
Has nothing to do with fishing, but chocolate gravy is
He
good.
said he was coming over for breakfast. We're talking about breakfast food. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, French toast on the Blackstone would be good.
Be a lot easier than in a little pan for all our children.
Yeah, no joke. I really need to get a big griddle because, man,
It's not gross. Don't give
it's
me the
brutal.
gross face. Who doesn't like chocolate?
Chocolate gravy is great.
Yeah.
So I was surprised. Like, I am a huge biscuits and gravy fan. So when she said her family does chocolate gravy, I was like, that's really weird. There's no way I'm going to like chocolate. I was like, well, what do you eat it with? I thought, you put it on something sweet. She's like, you put it on a biscuit. It's gravy. I'm like, no, that's really weird, babe. Like, there's no way I'm going to like that. She's like, well, we're going over to my grandma's house, and you have to try her chocolate gravy. So I tried it, and it's actually good. Now, I am a bigger fan of white gravy still. You got to have that
It's a special
good white
occasion
gravy or
type thing
sausage
anyways.
gravy. But chocolate gravy is good. If I go somewhere and they have white gravy and chocolate gravy, yeah, that may make my wife eat gravy. If I go somewhere and they have, it's good. It's good.
It's a sweet thing. It's
If
not
I
a
go
savory
somewhere
thing.
and they have chocolate gravy and white gravy, I'm gonna get biscuits with both of them on it. Now I'm not gonna eat them at the exact same time.
Tastes
I'm
really
gonna
good
get a
on bacon,
plate.
too.
I'm gonna get a plate with biscuits and white gravy. Then I'm gonna get a plate with biscuits and chocolate gravy. But they're both great. Yeah, sausage gravy is my favorite. Yeah. It's definitely my favorite. You got another question? I'll let you ask one.
What was the first technique you guys both learned? So I grew up, anytime I went fishing, it was always crappie fishing. So I just always threw on a crappie jig because I knew it would, catch some fish. And
How to remove a diabetic.
So this year I started using crankbaits, and that would probably be the first other lure I learned. Not really a technique, but
yeah. So first technique, if you want to get into me starting fishing, I fished for catfish. I mean, obviously we all started out worm and bobber. So my dad took me fishing when I was a little kid, and always did really well taking me fishing when I was a kid, even though I'm sure I complained just as much as my kids do. But yeah,
somehow I don't believe that.
So worm, yeah, I don't know. Worm and bobber, of course. But then we started catfishing a lot and fished for Linton, Indiana. Okay. We're down close to Evansville. So yeah, Dad said you're welcome.
Yeah, Linton's only like an hour from us.
That's what I thought. I thought that was fairly close. All right, so yeah, we catfished with, anything from live bait to cut up shad or a little bit of everything, minnows. When I started fishing for something other than catfish, yep, Jeremy's out of West Boggs, close to West Boggs. That's where I actually met him on the water.
I'm excited to go fishing with him too. Him and Paul. They'll actually show me where the big fish are.
Yeah.
He won't take me.
I'm excited to take her out with Jeremy. She's wanting to learn how to throw a Texas rig, so that's something that obviously Jeremy is Jeremy's awesome with a Texas rig. I mean, the amount of patience he had
Pretty
when we
much.
were on the water was just unreal. So, yeah, Hunter and Emma are pretty much our neighbors. They live barely down the road from us. Yeah, so for bass fishing, I started out really fishing with a crappie jig. My first probably 2 tournaments, that's almost all I threw. I threw, you know, a spinnerbait here and there and a chatterbait here and there. I wouldn't even pick up a crankbait. I had a bunch of them because I had thrown them before and I was always tangling them in something and breaking them off. And I was like, that is such a stupid lure. And then I had a buddy, Chris Hogan, for any of you guys that follow him. He's down in Kentucky, but he fishes a lot of bass tournaments as well. And he came up and fished the bluegrass tournaments in 2023. I met him at the water one day when I was getting my kayak down to the water. He actually came over, a competitor, came over and said, hey, I'll help you carry that kayak down. You guys know I've never had a trailer or anything, so I was carrying my kayak down to the water. He helped me carry my kayak down, helped me get in the water launch, and then at the end of the day, the guy ended up winning the tournament. I talked to him for a while, and he told me what he won the tournament on, and it was throwing crankbaits. So the next time that we fished, I was out there, happened to fish on the same day as him yet again, and I was like, you know, I've got a crankbait in my console, and I've not thrown it yet. I hadn't caught a single bass. I'd caught a bunch of crappie that day, and he was like, every fish I've caught so far has been on a square bill. So he talked me into tying it on. As I was pulling away from him, again, a competitor in the tournament said, go ahead and throw a square bill on there. And he talked me into it. I put the square bill on there, and a few casts later, I caught my first bass on a crankbait.
You have to tell him things a few times sometimes.
So, what?
Because he had to tell you multiple times.
Oh, yeah, no joke. So, yeah, I'm stubborn. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, so crankbait would be the first, like, actual bass fishing technique I really started throwing. And just pulling it literally through the grass. I mean,
yeah.
I was ticking the edge of the grass with it every time and kept on working it pretty hard until, you know, you come up with grass on it every few casts. But kept on working it until I started catching fish, and it's paid off, and now I like to throw it. Yeah, I'm pushing myself to throw some rubber worms a lot more. I'm still not good with it. Johnson Silver Minnow. All right, so I'm going to throw another one. I'm going to throw another one up here for her. So, do you know what this is? I'll try to be
mermaid
still
tail.
with it. It's a mermaid tail for sure. That is 100% what it is.
Fish tail. I don't know soft plastics at all.
Yeah. So this is a fluke.
Fluke. I actually do know
again,
that.
Yeah, and I kind of expect you to know this one actually. This again is
they all kind of look
Dadish
the
Tackle.
same. I didn't know that it was like the tail stuff.
So a fluke is something I'm really just getting into throwing myself. Again, really learning soft plastics here. I started learning them last year and gonna focus a lot more on them this year. But that's a fluke, and you kind of work it like a jerkbait. So you put it on.
Yeah, you gave me some.
And you kind of give it. Yeah, I gave you a pack, and you kind of work it like a jerkbait. Yeah, soft jerkbaits. So.
Which I just figured out. Well, the regular jerkbait.
Now
So
I know some people Texas rig them, throw them, and drag them on the bottom. Same as anything else. I'm sure that if Travis is still listening, he could probably tell you how he throws them. I'm sure he works them like a jerkbait sometimes, and I'm sure he throws them Texas rigged. Because if you can throw it on a hook, he's going to throw it Texas rigged. Yeah, fish for catfish,
leftover
trout,
plastic
carp.
trout.
Yeah, so
I'm guessing he doesn't like that.
my reason in bass fishing was picking up a kayak and watching Greg Blanchard videos, and I was like, tournaments look like fun. I think I'll try that out. So I picked up a kayak and started tournament fishing. I was 2 years into kayak fishing when I decided to do my first tournament.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm excited to do some tournaments this year. It's fun. I like to be competitive. Even when I don't do good, it's still fun to just be competitive.
I just read your comment, Jeremy. It's called a fluke for a reason. Go ahead and read some more of yours.
Okay. When was the first fish finder made? Yeah, give us a thumbs up.
Yeah, definitely appreciate that, Dave. If
And this
you're
is
still
just like
watching
the
and you
first...
haven't liked the video, jump in there and like it, please. Getting laundry out. Oh, man.
Way to
I'm
get it
so
done.
far behind on laundry right now. I don't even want to talk about it. 63. I have no
And this is
clue.
like the original, like the very first fish finder, not when it was introduced to anglers too.
Yeah, I have absolutely no clue when it comes to this. You guys know I'm very new to electronics also.
Let me look because I don't remember. When was the... Actually, yes. Yes, it was. It was made in 1948. Some Japanese guys, and it's like just a little one that like clicked. Now, when was it introduced to anglers? Like when did they become available? And this is like hard to believe because you guys can't fish without fish finders anymore, so.
'70s.
I'm just teasing. I don't have a fish finder, so I have to tease those that do.
Jeremy said he used the flasher in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
So, Jeremy, just throwing it out there, Travis went and fished Lake Fork for the native Power Hour tournament. And I think that was your first time out on Fork, right, Travis? And I'm sure that was an adventure. I would love to fish. I mean, it's just an iconic lake. And I know, Jeremy, you know that lake.
Yeah, so it was introduced to anglers in the 1980s. So you have one of the originals. Probably worth something now. It's like the Beanie Babies.
All right. Next, I'm going to go ahead and throw another one up here. What is this?
I mean, it's just a worm.
It's a stick worm.
Stick worm.
So a lot of people call them Senkos because Yamamoto Senko.
I've heard of that.
But yeah, so just a stick worm. This is Pearl White by Dad Fish Tackle. Yeah, so stick worm, it's...
But do you fish it like a regular worm?
Fish it Texas rigged.
Oh.
So that's how... Now I say that. Texas rig is your most common. Of course, a lot of people now wacky rig them. So that's something that says that's a scrap piece of plastic. So I know Jeremy is not a fan of flukes, and Paul is not a fan of Senkos or straight worms. Yeah, championship is on Fork this spring. I would love to go down there with you sometime, Jeremy, and do some fishing. That would be amazing, going out there with someone who knows that lake.
Is that in Texas?
Just be unreal. Unreal.
I have family in Texas. So if we go, the only problem, or if he goes, I need to go see my family. They'll be mad at me. Because they're always asking me to visit and he's having it.
Yeah. All right, I'll let you ask another question, and then I'm going to get into just questions for you.
Oh, gosh. That doesn't sound fun. All right, let me find a good one then.
I can pull out some more random lures,
fine.
but I wanted to just do some actual questions.
Okay, because this one's kind of cool. So there was a person who has caught all 1,154 species found in the United States of fish. Do you know who that person is? I think it's pretty neat. That'd be a cool goal to catch.
Still living now?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know who they are.
She don't know who it is, but she was just wondering if you guys know.
Yeah, it's
I think she does have his name written down, or his. Is it a guy?
I'm not telling you.
Well, I can ask that question. Give a little hint.
It's a common name.
Bob.
Well, the
It
first
was
part
Bob.
is. I think that's a cool goal, though, like to catch all of the species of fish.
That would be
That'd take some determination for sure.
Jeremy Wade. That's awesome. He's caught fish all over, so that would be a good pick.
I'm gonna drop one more question, and then I'll tell you both the answers. What is the most
Steve.
valuable fish in the
Steve?
world by weight?
Is it Steve?
It is Steve.
Oh, well done, Travis. I'm gonna guess he just threw out the name.
I'm gonna
but
say
that was
so
a good
too.
job.
Yeah, Steve Wozniak. I don't know. Wozniak.
Wozniak.
Yeah, that one.
Steve Wozniak. That's what I would say.
Yeah, valuable fish in the world by weight.
Most valuable fish in the world by weight. Yeah, I would go with probably bluefin tuna, right? Blue tuna, bluefin tuna.
Yes, you're right, Travis. I think that's neat. It's kind of like that one guy you watch because he goes, I don't know which one, but no, the most valuable fish is the bluefin tuna.
Bluefin tuna. Yeah, I mean, they literally made a TV show about that one, so that's a pretty serious one. No, that was fine. It's cool. It's a cool question. Fishing related. All right. So, you know, my favorite technique of fishing is BFS. What is BFS?
Something finesse. Oh gosh.
So what kind of reel do you use for BFS?
A bait caster?
So,
bait caster finesse.
Yeah, bait finesse. So
Bait finesse.
So it's essentially a finesse system. that you're
bait finesse system.
that you're using a bait caster for. So now tell me, what does finesse mean?
Finesse, like when
In fishing, what is finesse? What would you call finesse style fishing?
when you have to
Big fish strategy. That's it, buddy.
like when you have to like work it like really, I don't know, finesse it. You gotta like handle it well.
Stepping on it again. So I've got to make sure I say something again to get Travis to step right back in. All right. So yeah, so
I mean, you just gotta like you gotta work it right, don't you?
Yeah, finessing, big backlashes. I've gotten really good about not backlashing. I mean, it still happens. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, downsize baits. I mean, that's essentially what it is. You're downsizing your baits. You know, working them a lot slower. When you go to finesse fishing, you're doing a lot little baits for big tanks. That's right, Jeremy. Now, he says that, but I know this guy is out there throwing 10-inch worms because I've seen him, and I've seen him catch big bass on them while I was sitting right next to him catching dinks that day. I mean, I caught a couple decent fish, and then I caught one on a 10-inch worm also under his instruction, because I can promise you there's no way I would have caught a fish that day on that style bait without big freaking swim baits. There's no way I would have caught a fish that day without spending some time watching him and his coaching. Like, Jeremy is an awesome coach on the water. Like, he actually took the time and said, hey, here's what you need to do.
I think you actually catfished her, Hunter, but
yeah, I don't know about finessing her in.
it's more like catfishing. It's fine.
All right. What's a Texas rig?
Oh, that one I know. It's like the little worm thingy, and it's got the weight on top because you did it, but it's like the loose weight or something.
Yeah. So a weighted Texas rig is you've got your worm hook on, and you're throwing a soft plastic, and you've got the worm weight.
And it was like loose, wasn't it? Like
Yep.
you tied it differently.
Yep.
I
It actually
looked at
slides
that
on
one,
the
but-
line.
Yeah. I don't know the terms, but
Sorry, guys. I just got a notification that we apparently have a production meeting, which tells me maybe Toyota maybe Toyota surprised me.
You did. They canceled Blue Shift. Gold Shift to be determined later. I was reading your text.
Okay, there we go.
He actually gets a snow day.
Hey, snow day, guys. So it's an all-nighter.
No, it's not.
Just kidding. Just kidding. We still got kids.
Yeah, and one fell asleep
and I'm actually battling a sinus infection tonight. So the more I talk, the more I can feel my throat closing up. But I'm still really enjoying this, and I don't want it to end just yet. Weedless rig, yeah.
Hopefully you guys don't want it to end either.
Snow day. She wanted me for the mullet. Oh man. The only mullet I'm out there for is the fish. All right. So what is like the power of a rod? So this is something that she's just now starting to learn, like the difference in cheap rods and more quality rods.
Like the power of the rod? Like how much weight it can handle?
So, like I have a BFS rod that is what kind of rod? What kind of rod do you use to catch crappie?
Or it would be you use the BFS to catch everything.
So what kind of rod would you use if you were going crappie fishing or bluegill fishing? Not me, but if you
the BFS rod.
No, not necessarily BFS. What rod would you use
smaller?
If you were using a spinning rod? What do I call my spinning rod that I used to crappie fish with, or that I trout fished with?
I don't know.
Ultralight.
Ultralight.
So your power of your rod is a medium heavy, light,
okay.
Ultralight.
I guess I should have known that.
Extra heavy, and then what about the action of a rod?
Well, would that be like this? No, that wouldn't. The spinner, the bait caster, that type of thing? No? Okay.
Nope. So that's actually the action of a reel.
Well, I didn't know. Well, I mean...
Yep, you're good. You're good. I'm trying to throw it out there. So the action of a rod is like, so when you start to bend the tip of a rod, how fast your tip goes from, like, the tip is a little bit more flexible on a rod, a lot more sensitive. How fast the tip goes from being flexible to actually the rest of the rod, like putting force into setting your hooks and stuff like that.
I don't know, because I didn't know that was the thing.
So you've got like fast action rods, which means a faster action rod means it gets into what they call the backbone of the rod a whole lot faster.
I know there's like different sensitive ones.
There are moderate rods. A moderate action rod means that the rod is going to bend quite a bit before you actually get into the backbone, again, as in setting the hook of the lure, the fight of the fish. So your rod's going to be a lot more flimsy with a moderate action rod. A lot of people fish crankbaits on moderate action rods because you want the rod to flex more and they've got less chance of throwing the crankbait on a moderate action rod. So a heavy action rod, you're going to be throwing things like
frog, right?
Like a frog. So you're going to see people throwing a frog on a heavy action rod, like big swim baits. They'll throw on a faster action rod sets the hook a lot faster. So like a frog, you're going to want to have a heavy or an extra heavy rod with a fast action, because whenever you do set that hook, you want to have that hook set in there immediately. Yeah. Which you guys know I'm really bad about being slow on my frog hook sets, so that's something I've worked on. I've gotten a little bit better. And then the next thing I was going to ask you was type of reels.
Well,
so
spinner, bait caster,
spinning reel, bait caster, and then
good old
what's
Walmart
the old Zebcos?
Good old Walmart Zebco that caught me a pretty good fish.
They're spin cast. The closed in reels are spin cast.
It was only like $20.
Yeah. Hey, they were cheap, but
and it came with the rod and the reel.
The rod and
together.
That was something that was a big thing when I started fishing, especially with more quality rods, is getting her to understand the fact in buying a rod and then buying a reel. and the cost that comes along with that.
I don't like spin casts because I like to, when I tell it where to go, I want it to go there. Spin cast does not do that.
Paul said I use a 7'3" heavy to throw a 4-ounce weight for stripers on the river. Yeah, that's a big weight. So, and that's, our catfish rods were always heavy rods. Yeah, Zebco's an awesome reel. My dad still has Zebco's on half of his setups. Zebco's are awesome. I can't diss them because they've probably caught more fish than almost any other reel on the market. Just get to getting more accurate with casts and everything, and I've gotten into bait casting and just having that leeway of your different lures and your reels being specific for your lures. That's the big thing that I've gotten into with a bait caster.
I didn't understand the whole 10 rods in their kayaks either until I realized it's just so much easier to fish from your topwater to your frog to whatever.
Yeah, so Calah, I got her throwing a spinning rod. You just really started throwing a spinning rod this year, right?
Yeah, it's the first time.
She'd always thrown a spin cast rod. So I got her throwing a spinning rod this year, and she was really enjoying that. And then I got her into a bait caster and worked with her a little bit. And yeah, exactly. Hunter actually hooked us up with a reel and a rod, and got her out there and started casting with it, and she picked it up really fast. Now I'll say that it was a reel, with magnetic brakes or with electronic brakes in it. So it was a
that really helped. Teresa, I don't know which bait caster you have, but mine has some brakes, and it helped me learn. It really helped me tone it in. I had very few backlashes, but at the same time, I definitely still have them. I've only had 2 stop the night ones though, right? Or one. Only one stop the night one, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, she had one bad backlash that shut her down, but that was catching something. I think she caught the flag on her light pole behind her. She caught the flag and it spooled the bait caster. So Jeremy said he carries 14 different rods.
That's insane.
With specific technique for each.
How do you get them all in your... are they literally all in your kayak when you go out? How do you carry 14 rods with you? I would tangle up every time I casted. That's kind of talent, honestly.
Yeah.
Josh takes 6 with him. He has 16, but he takes 6.
Yep. So I normally honestly fish with 4 to 5. I'll have 4 to 5 rods in my kayak at once. That's normally where I'm at. And then I always have a spare reel or 2 in my black pack. Man, guys, if you are in a kayak and you don't have a black pack, I'm telling you, pick one up. They make such a world of difference. She's wanting one right now.
It may not be as big of a deal now.
Great tackle storage, but I literally have a little bit of everything I need in my black pack. I've got, an extra set of snips for cutting my line. I've got multiple extra tackle boxes, a lot of extra tackle. I keep a pair of sunglasses in there just in case I forget my sunglasses in the truck. I'm gonna start throwing some sunblock and bug spray in there because
definitely need sunblock in there.
So many times I've been out and end up burning my ankles.
That's insane.
My shoes sit kind of low on my feet, and my pant legs come up a little bit, and I end up burning my ankles.
He has the tennis ankles.
Really, really bad. Yeah, they are expensive. Black packs are expensive. I won't pretend like they're not.
Emma says she has a cheaper thing she likes if you need something in the meantime. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, and there are a lot of different ones. A lot of people use just a regular crate. If you use a black pack, you're going to be stuck with it.
I am definitely packing snacks this year.
That's something I rarely do. I don't know about you guys. I rarely eat on the water. Now, I know that fishing noob, I know you like to eat on the water, and I seen your sandwich go in the water, and I seen you try to net it back, but there was no getting it back. He said, that was my boat snack. I remember that exact thing. That was my boat snack. No. Yeah, that's what Jeremy's saying. His Bonafide PWR has the space for lots of stuff. It is.
That's crazy.
It's a sweet kayak. Like, wait till you see that one in person. That is a sweet, sweet kayak.
I'm excited because I'm back to having more rod holders again.
Yeah, she'll have more rod holders on her current setup that she's going to be in, the pedal drive. What's your favorite snack for all you guys that do like to eat on the water? What's your favorite snack?
I really haven't packed.
Emma's saying Sour Patch Kids.
Ooh, since you can't take chocolate.
You can. Beef stick. That's a really common one.
I would
Beef
take
sticks,
jerky for sure.
Chomps.
Yeah.
So for me, it's gonna be weird, but almond M&Ms, they're the best thing in a kayak.
Gonna melt.
No, M&Ms, they melt in your mouth, not in your hands. Don't you know that? Haven't you ever heard that? That's been a commercial since before I was around.
Oh, you better be careful, Paul.
Yeah, that's something. If you're a diabetic, you definitely have to make sure you keep food on you. Troll sour worms. Oh,
my favorite.
I'm not a sour candy person,
No, he doesn't
so
do gummies.
so
I like the Jolly Rancher gummies. Those are good.
Yeah, protein shake, beef sticks. I mean, you know, Greg Blanchard. It's always a beef stick.
Probably take like the Cheez-It, the Snap Cheez-Its, and some beef jerky.
My buddy James in Missouri, it's always a Stoney's beef stick. And normally in the middle of eating it, that's when he gets a big bite and ends up catching a big fish while he's actually eating. We all know that when you pick up a phone to do something or something distracts you from fishing, it changes up your retrieve a little bit, and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, you got one. Idea. DoorDash pizza at the boat ramp.
I gotta have a good Coke
sweet and salty granola bars. That's a good one.
We need to get Casey's to sponsor us so I can.
So, Jeremy, we don't have a Buc-ee's anywhere near us. Now, we were 30 miles from one when we picked up the kayaks the other day in Crossville.
Immediate fasting.
But we didn't make that. Hey, he hardly takes snacks.
An on-water Uber Eats company. That would be so fantastic.
Like if it doesn't have a package, all my snacks taste like shad. Yeah.
Ew.
Can't tell me you haven't been there if you spent enough time on the water. Oh man, I remember my uncle. We would go fishing, and if we caught very many fish at all, he wouldn't be able to eat for a couple days. He would wash his hands and wash his hands and wash his hands, and every time he would start to sit down and eat, he would just feel like he still had that fish on his hands.
That's why I want them to sponsor me, because they got breakfast pizza, the best breakfast pizza ever for breakfast on the way out, and then big old Coke Zero.
You've had others with you eating your bait, yeah. Buc-ee's just opened up in Trevor's hometown, in his town. Yeah, no spicy foods. I did make the mistake one time. So my favorite jerky is, I think it's called Trappers or something like that. And they have one that there's literally almost as many pepper seeds as what there are pieces of jerky in there. Colton was eating your bait. I could see that, definitely. But there's literally almost as many pepper seeds as there are pieces of jerky in that bait. And man, or in that jerky. And it is really good, but you have to be careful if you eat that on the water, because you're going to have to go to the bathroom at some point.
I try not to drink a lot.
We're from close to Evansville, Scott. How about yourself? Oh, ate the shrimp. I'm sorry. I could not do that.
That's gross.
Oh, couldn't even imagine. Pontoon with a grill would be a good food truck on the water. Yes, it would.
I mean, it's really not a bad idea.
Is there a rule to never drink the Mountain Dew on the kayak? Yes, very much so. For Calah, Calah makes her way to the bank. But yes, I'm filling a water bottle if I'm out there and have to go.
There's one disadvantage we have.
So, Jeremy, you're talking about, you know, essentially a food truck on the water. So, Hunter is actually talking about picking up a food truck, and it was said jokingly.
He was joking.
It was
but I
said
think he should do
jokingly,
it.
but I think it's a great idea. He's talking about picking up a food truck and making it a portable bait truck.
Exactly.
So
Emma.
it's the bait shop that pulls up to the boat ramp and has all your lures in it. Now the only problem is he's gonna get there and people are gonna be getting bites and he's gonna be like, yeah, I probably better go fishing instead.
Yeah. But it would be great because you could stock it. Like I have seen so many people say that they've gotten to the tournaments and like forgot this, and this. Like if he could stock like all the basics, like it'd be brilliant. Obviously, like at Bluegrass, it's a smaller tournament, but so it'd need to be somewhere bigger. But
yeah, I could see my dad. My dad would be the guy if he had a pontoon boat out on the water. He would be grilling.
That's what your dad needs to do. He could fish.
He would be selling food.
Yeah,
100%. We used to make breakfast sandwiches at work, and he built a little oven.
Yes, we're not
that
far from Princeton.
He would, yeah. I work at the Toyota here in Princeton, you know, so I know exactly. We know where Princeton is.
That can be done.
Yeah, so my dad would make breakfast sandwiches in a little oven he made there at work. He welded up himself, and we would sell them there. So yeah, he would be the guy. He would set up a portable food truck out on the water. I could see that totally. And doing well with it. My dad makes some great food, so really good with a grill. All right, I don't have a lot more. Do you have anything else to add?
No, I think we've pretty much covered it all.
All right, guys.
Thanks for hanging out with us again.
We've done it now again for almost an hour and a half. Does anybody else?
Northwest Pennsylvania, that's a move.
All right. Well, welcome.
Yeah.
If Scott, if you're wanting to find some places to fish around here, feel free to reach out to me. Check out my Facebook page under Southwest Indiana Outdoors.
No, I think he's in Pennsylvania now.
No, from Northwest Pennsylvania.
Oh.
So, yeah, hit me up on Facebook if you're wanting to look for a place to fish or anything. I would definitely like to join you. I don't know if you're a bank fisherman, kayak, boat, whatever, but no, we don't have to put. We do if we decide to motorize, we would have to have the kayaks inspected and go through that. But so far, we're not motorizing anything. We did get kayaks that we could motorize just in case.
I'm really excited.
It's not the plan yet, but it is an option now. The upgrading to a pedal drive is going to be huge, and like Travis mentioned earlier, I know I'm going to have to learn that. The big thing that I've been thinking about is measuring fish around a pedal drive versus right now I've got a fairly open kayak. Now I do have a console in the middle of mine. If you guys have watched my video, I talk about that a little bit. But I've learned to measure with that console right there. But a pedal drive is not something that you can just set it on top of. It's there. So learning to measure fish around a pedal drive will be something unique. Something I've got to pick up. But yeah, definitely something to learn.
One of our kids actually fell asleep before we started this.
Yeah, and he may wake up and he may decide to sleep through the night. I would be okay with that. If he does, that might be like a 2 a.m. wake up, and that's not what I'm looking for.
He wasn't. We were all kind of getting over some stuff, so we just let him sleep. No.
We didn't show the new kayaks yet.
They're coming.
It's coming. She says I'm waiting too long.
Yeah, you're waiting way too long.
I'm waiting until I can put them on the water.
He's crazy. He's gonna show.
I'm waiting until I put them on the water. I'm
gonna
drop some hints. I'm gonna drop some hints over the next.
You can't drop many more hints than you did.
I will. I'll put out the picture of the blurred setup.
We'd have to skate. I skate over to your house, Hunter. I don't think it's happening.
Yeah, I know it. I think it's gonna be pretty rough. All right, guys. Thank you guys seriously so much for watching. It means the world that you guys would stick around and talk to us the whole time.
Before you get off.
Give us a like. And now that we're jumping off, jump on and watch a few more of my videos. Thank you, Jeremy. Seriously. It means a lot, you guys jumping in and talking the whole time. Y'all have a great night.
Bye.
Be safe.